Let's shop for a $20 Dollar Tree Christmas dinner. The guidelines that I follow when shopping for these types of videos is I only visit one Dollar Tree and I only buy what's available on that day at that specific store. The only items I can use from home are oil, salt, and pepper. The first thing I pick up was a box of stuffing mix, and I checked the back to see what it called for, and it did say that you need butter or margarine, which you can no longer really purchase at Dollar Tree due to the rising cost, so we're just going to leave that out. I really like the green bean casserole that I made in my Thanksgiving video, so I grabbed all of the same ingredients again: a bag of fried onions, a bag of frozen green beans, and a can of cream of mushroom soup. Sidetracking a bit here, but for my friends who only have a microwave, my Dollar Tree recently got these Berea Ready pastas, which you can microwave in just 60 seconds. Next, I grabbed 2 bags of my favorite mashed potato, which is this roasted garlic flavor. I wanted to make a honey glazed ham with these smoked ham deli slices, but the store didn't have brown sugar or their honey syrup in stock, so I ended up putting back the smoked ham and getting 2 packages of the honey ham instead. I wanted a dessert that didn't require eggs or butter to make it, so I grabbed a bag of frozen berries with bananas and a package of banana nut muffin mix that only required water so we could make a fruit cobbler. My Dollar Tree also recently got spinach in stock, so I grabbed a bag of that along with a block of cream cheese, a block of mozzarella cheese, and some homestyle biscuit mix so I could make a spinach dip skillet. I still had a couple of items left in the budget, so I grabbed a carton of chicken broth, and I wanted vanilla ice cream for the cobbler, but they didn't have any in stock, so I grabbed a tub of Cool Whip instead. So here is my finished $20 Christmas dinner haul from Dollar Tree, and I'm really excited about this one. I think I've made a lot of really good adjustments from the Thanksgiving dinner that I posted last month, so I will be cooking this all today and posting the video tomorrow. Here's how I made a complete Christmas dinner for 6 people with $20 from Dollar Tree. Let's start it off with the appetizer, which is this pull-apart spinach dip skillet. I softened a block of cream cheese to room temperature, and then I mixed it together with a fork until it was soft and pliable. I also grated a block of mozzarella cheese, and I microwaved my spinach for 4 minutes. I drained it very well. You want to make sure you get out as much liquid from the spinach as possible. I mixed my spinach in with my cream cheese and added about 3/4 of my grated mozzarella cheese. I left a handful of mozzarella aside for the topping. I don't use milk to make these biscuits, I just add water, so I added 1/2 cup of water and mixed to combine. I lightly oiled a cast iron skillet. You don't necessarily need a skillet to do this, you can do it in a baking tray, but then I dolloped small biscuits around the outside edge of the skillet. Once all my biscuits were down, I added my spinach dip mixture to the center of the skillet and topped it with mozzarella cheese. I baked this at 400 degrees for around 18 minutes until the biscuits were golden brown on top. Next, for the green bean casserole, I added my bag of frozen green beans into a pot of boiling salted water, and I boiled this for 5 minutes, removing any stems as I saw them. Drain your green beans and then add in a can of cream of mushroom soup and about a handful of your fried onions. I also like to add a splash of water as it just thins out the soup base. If you're not going to be baking this, you'll want to heat this mixture through, but I did put it in my oven, so I added it all to a baking dish, topped it with the remainder of the fried onions, and put it in the oven just until the onions were golden brown on top. I'm using chicken broth to make the stuffing. Since the store didn't have any margarine, I added 2 cups of chicken broth into a saucepan and brought it up to a boil. I added in my stuffing mix, stirred it lightly, and then covered with a lid and allowed it to steam for 5 minutes. Since I had a carton of chicken broth and I had only used half of it, I needed 4 cups of water to make my mashed potatoes, and I replaced one of those cups with a cup of chicken broth to give it a richer flavor. I brought that up to a boil, and then I stirred in my 2 packets of garlic mashed potatoes. I bought 2 packages of honey deli ham, which I divided into 6 stacks of 4 slices each. I left them in their folded half moon shape so that they had more of a carved ham appearance, and then I fried them in a skillet on medium-high heat until they were golden brown on each side. I finished it off by steaming it in a splash of chicken broth. And lastly, we can't forget dessert, which I made a fruit cobbler. I mixed a packet of banana nut muffin mix with a 1/2 cup of water and added it over top of a baking dish with some frozen fruit in it. Mine had thawed slightly. And then I baked this at 400 degrees until it was set. For me, this took around 30 minutes. Here is our finished beautiful Christmas dinner from Dollar Tree. All that's left to do is plate this up. I was able to fill 6 of my large dinner plates with the items I made today, and I would say $20 to feed 6 people is a really good price for a Christmas dinner. I made a $20 Christmas dinner from Dollar Tree. I wanted to keep that video under 3 minutes, so I'm uploading the taste test separately. This was truly a work of art, and I was so proud of how this turned out, and I was really excited to try everything. Starting with the ham, I fried it in a skillet and then steamed it in some chicken broth, and I thought this was a really great way to take an inexpensive deli meat and elevate it and make it taste more homemade. For the stuffing mix, I couldn't get margarine, so I cooked it in chicken broth instead, and honestly, this tastes just as good as the name brand stuffing mix. I haven't had stuffing in a long time, so I could have eaten my weight in this stuff. I also used 1 cup of chicken broth when making the mashed potatoes, which gave them a richer flavor, but it was just enough to give them some richness without making them too salty. The green bean casserole was the same as the one that I made when I did my Thanksgiving video, so I already knew it was going to be good, and it did not disappoint. I was most excited about this spinach dip. It presented beautifully. You could not tell that it was made from Dollar Tree ingredients, and I absolutely love warm spinach dip, especially served over a fresh bread. And lastly, there was the fruit cobbler, which was so delicious. It had a very fruity flavor to it. The strawberries were slightly tart and the banana flavor was quite strong. So if you don't like bananas, I would say to use a bag of frozen strawberries or a bag of frozen blueberries and substitute the muffin mix with the mixed berry mix instead. Overall, I was entirely happy with how this Christmas dinner turned out. Both taste and presentation were on point, and honestly, I would not have changed a single thing about how I made this dish. I'll see you guys in a couple of days after I finish washing all of these dishes.